This work was the absolute priority I was taught with. I prayed to do the best service, to give the most I could to this world, and this is what I was taught. And for 10 years, I was taught how to apply it more deeply in what became the Chakra Keys book. The lightning sessions that we're about to engage is the heart of what I was taught. In so many ways, it's more important than telling you what's happening in the world, in channeling understandings about the history of humanity. Because this is the work that we can each do ourselves to change our own lives and resonate in a way that's in harmony, the new world. When I do this work, I'm deeply surrendered. I have a very conscious connection with my guidance, with both himself. And the better I get at it, the more I feel other beings more discreetly, who do offer different insights, sort of like specialists, that help me know what to say. That is what's happening. And we will record them to share with others and impart. The greatest gift of this is your willingness to be witnessed. Because when you're seen, it can catalyze much deeper change. I'll begin by saying at least one of you completely freaked out when we did that power exercise and reached and grabbed my energy, like, take care of me. It's okay. I can feel it though. And there's a joyful, compassionate humor in it, because there's no way you could even feel that level of power unless you are ready to learn how to handle it. And I want you to hear that. They're not making mistakes, but there is a lot of work to do. So when you go on the hot seat, be willing to change as much as you're ready for. That is what we are praying for. Hello, Angie. How are you doing?
Hey, Daniel. I'm okay. I'm not okay.
Thank you.
I'm going through a huge awakening, and there's a lot of voices.
There you go. Wait, stop it right there.
Okay.
Angie, do I have your permission to interrupt you?
Yes.
Thank you. I wanted to interrupt you right there.
Okay.
So I want you to hear yourself, but I want you to stay with this thought before you skip to the next.
Okay.
You're going through a huge awakening and there are a lot of voices.
Mm-hmm.
Pause. That's really overwhelming, yes?
Yeah, it makes me want to cry. Sorry.
Not at all. Feel your heart.
Okay.
You're going to get through this.
I feel scared.
Yes, indeed. Normal is falling apart.
It is. They're all yelling at me, telling me I'm not listening. I'm trying hard to listen.
You're listening now.
Yeah.
Keep your heart.
Okay.
Angie, what do you think I'm going to tell you?
I don't know. There's so many different things that I thought that you would say, and all of those things have dissolved as time goes on and as days go on, and I'm being brought through like illusions in my mind as I listen to different things and memories, and I'm all my chakras are open, and it's like a big elevator, and I'm Alice in Wonderland, and I'm going through all the different chakras. I'm being brought up and down like an elevator to my chakras to listen. And when I don't listen, they get angry at me and start yelling at me.
Well, that's an interpretation.
Yeah.
Your chakras don't get angry at you.
Okay.
So I think you're lost in an incredible influx of power. So wait, pause.
Pause.
That's really fucking cool.
It is.
I
One
think you've
part,
been skipping this step, Angie.
one part of me is super scared, and the other part of me is like, oh my God, this is the awesomest thing. This is everything I always wanted.
Okay, there we go. Now, you're in a community with many people who've seen you before.
Yeah.
Your face looks so much clearer than it normally does, Angie. Do you believe me?
Yeah.
Do you believe that what's happening is good?
Yes. The Thoth voice, there's a Thoth voice. And the Thoth voice, if I listen, if I can get through, communicates to me and tells me that this is a gift. He's given me this gift, and that this is for me to stop disassociating so I can heal myself and stop repressing my emotions.
Exactly. Pause.
Okay.
You need to do more work repeating the messages that you get and working with them.
Okay.
Can I tease you a little?
Yes, you absolutely can.
Angie shared a message with me in which she listed about 19,076 different things she's been trying to do to balance the situation. If you started up 17 stereos at once, it might sound a little confusing. What are you trying to drown out, Angie?
There's 4 beings around me.
Stop.
Okay.
That was an interpretation.
Okay.
Get it?
Okay.
Doubt everything except love right now.
Doubt everything except love. Okay.
Your mind is not going to stay stable, Angie. Your mind looks like a shipwreck right now, okay? Your third eye itself, which is holding the interpretations of your mind of the energy, looks like a shipwreck right now.
Okay.
Why would that be good news?
Because it means that something's changing. It's active, I'm active, and I'm changing. And I've been learning yoga.
Yes,
Like,
you have.
really learning yoga.
Yes, you have. And it's been working better than ever sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I need that yoga when my mind starts chaosing. Like,
Yes.
I need that yoga to bring me into reality. Because if not, I'll go into delusions.
Angie just coined the most useful new word, chaosing. This is beautiful. Yes. Yes. All right, you ready? I mean this. I swear to God, this is medicine.
Okay.
We ain't never gonna survive unless we get a little crazy. You're fighting hard not to go crazy, Angie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I could see myself as Alice talking to my different, like, down in the basement in the room.
Yeah, you got to stop doing that. You're talking to everything. When you talk to everything, you're getting it spinning. When it's spinning, it spins for a while. You can't tell the difference between an entity and your own echoes.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And they've been keeping me up all night. Last night, I got my first good night's sleep because I did yoga like for 4 hours yesterday. Grounded.
Yep. There is someone else explicit in this community, I mean, who I'm thinking of, who's gone through exactly this, okay?
Okay.
It will not last forever. That is the hard part, right?
Yeah.
You have a part of you that's screaming this might last forever, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm scared of.
Yes, that is your trauma.
Okay.
Your trauma has been repressed and stuck for a long time.
Yeah.
That is the generator of the urge to distract yourself.
Okay.
It's not about this or that entity. Yeah, they're real. Sometimes they're real. Some of them are real. Some of them aren't real. Not the point.
Okay.
You change yourself. You tune into a new world. The entities can't grab you.
Okay. That's what they keep telling me. So if I can raise my vibration, they can't see me. They can't access my lower chakras.
Exactly.
But the Thoth voice keeps telling me that I have to heal my root in order, and especially down my right, they're showing me where to heal, where the energies are attached. that I have to go in and heal.
Okay. So why don't you trust it?
It's hard because when I go to do it, the other voices that are up here are telling me, no, like they lie to you. Like they're lying to me.
Well, again, I think you're seeing it through shit-colored glasses.
Yeah.
Okay. So all you need to do is say no and bring yourself back into focus.
Okay.
Like when you get yourself trapped in interpreting the negative energies, you're already investing too much.
Okay.
You want to know how I wrote my book? Thoth
How?
made me think with him for an entire month. Nobody else ever at all. So I had to do the work every moment of every waking day to shift my attention back into his guidance. And here's how it works. Some of it comes through clearly. You are obviously getting some very clear guidance from him, right?
Yeah.
You can trust it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes it sounds god awful and it still seems like it's coming from him, right?
Right.
That's when you return to the practices.
Okay.
So that's when you do yoga and key ring, because you trust that that work will pay off. You have to identify when your mind is too confused to be useful right now.
Okay.
I really want you to hear this. You have to identify when your mind is too confused to be useful.
Okay.
You are trying really hard once you're already past the point of usefulness, right?
Okay. That makes sense. That
This
makes
is an
sense.
on-off switch, and you've been passing it without turning off. You just go, okay, my mind isn't trustworthy right now.
Okay.
I'm going to do more yoga. Okay, my mind isn't trustworthy right now. Clean up something.
That's what I've been doing. That's what he told me
Yes.
to do. Do the dishes. He said, do the dishes, sweep the floor, clean every room in your house, get rid of all the clutter.
Yes.
And the voices keep saying, our house is your house. Your house is our
Blah,
house.
blah, 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 blah. Yes, there's some hauntiness, but you're giving it too much credibility.
Okay.
Change your vibration and it'll be more practical steps.
Okay. I got my first night's sleep last night in like a week. So I was really happy about that. And I did that with mindfulness, just doing the dishes, spending time with my son, petting the dog. Like he's telling me I have to be present.
Hey, Angie.
Yeah.
You led a class while I was gone.
Yes, I did.
Is that the start of this? Did you scare the shit out of yourself?
No, it started before that. It started when it started even before I let go of heartfulness, because I was doing 2 practices, and then Thoth told me that if I wanted to come in, that I had to let go so that I could find a foundation.
Awesome.
And so I've done that. I only listen to Thoth.
Look, it's working. This is how it's supposed to work. I want you to look at the recording once you get it and look at your face.
Okay.
And look at some older recordings of your face. You've been twisted and turned and pulled apart, and you were coming into much deeper coherence. Yes, it's not pleasant to have it running through your mind, but if you learn when to register that your mind is just temporarily untrustworthy,
Okay.
and go back to actions like cleaning and taking care of the basics and doing yoga, it becomes kind of like rudimentary.
Okay.
I had what used to be a migraine on Friday, but I would say 97% of it was pleasant, because I no longer invest in the confused thoughts. And about 8 hours into it, I will spend 8 hours sitting. I'm stubborn, okay? About 8 hours into it, I did get a surge of the worst pain. And Thoth came in and he took away a stray dream I had where I got a little big for my britches about the level of impact I could have in the world. And he said, nope, that's too far. Will you let me take it away? I said, yes, take it, take it, take it. And the pain went away. I don't need to reach 20 million people, apparently. This stuff all has rationale, but it takes a while to get good at being present with the distinction between your own thoughts, the echoes, the entities that get attracted, the traumas from the past. But be excited, okay?
Okay.
It's a whole new world, and you've already made some really significant progress.
Thanks, Daniel.
Are you mad at me I made you wait so long?
No.
Okay.
No, I was going through some fear.
Yeah.
Like, because I didn't know if I could do it on my own, and I didn't know who to listen to. When there's that many voices, like, I don't know who to listen to. And then when I was being brought into the dream journeys, and then the dream journeys show me aspects of myself, like, and I keep hearing the word, it comes up and it says fractured, and that's fractured. That's what the voices, I think.
Too much dream journey bypassing. Okay, like, get back in your body. It's still really exciting to get the confirmation of how deep reality is, how much access to magic you have, but you got to get over that. Okay.
Yeah.
You got to be like, cut it out. I can't do this right now. I'm too ungrounded. It'll still be here 3 years from now. Okay.
Okay. That's what I was scared of, that it wouldn't be here, because
it's a very natural phase.
Okay. Because when you go into it, like, you're learning a lot, right? And that part's fun. But at the same time, you can't function in the real world if you're there.
And it's bypassing a trauma that you still have to get at, Angie.
Okay.
That fear that the negative side of this will never end. I really want everyone to hear this, because it's a very, very common, normal part of awakening. You access a part of you that goes really positive, and then it turns dark and negative. And there's the presence of this, oh God, it'll never end. Oh God, it'll never end. I cannot count how many people go through this that I've supported. And it was definitely a hallmark of my own experience. That is trauma.
Okay.
The spiritual awakening is bringing up trauma.
Okay.
And at that point, many people turn your awakening off because you don't want to feel that anymore. And what you need to do is double down and say, how can I heal this trauma? What do I need to do? Help me know how to heal this trauma.
Okay.
And if you reorient that way and get yourself out of dream time, because you're going into dream journeys to avoid the trauma. You can't listen to every Fred and Molly that starts to talk to you.
They're all talking to me.
Stop.
Yeah.
No more than 6.
Okay.
I talked to Jesus. I talked to Michael. But don't have any more than 6 go-tos. And you have to have a priority. And if this is where you put all your energy, make it your priority. Jesus works just fine with both. They are brethren of the Elohim.
Okay. I had to stop talking to Jesus, because in my dream journey, like when I was in through the diamond die, they kept bringing in Jesus as a guide, and it was like false. I was bringing me deeper into the illusion. And so I had to find my way back out of the illusion.
So, you know what's happening right now?
What?
And I am choosing to, because I really think this is valuable for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
The Pope is dying. It is having a dramatic impact on the world. There was a very prominent prophecy that suggested this would be the last Pope. The construct of Jesus that many Christian churches follow is inaccurate. It's out of balance. So it can be more difficult to follow Jesus's path right now, because all of this confused noise gets in the way. Now, Jesus is perfectly real, and he's right there, but he's married to Mary Magdalene, and you have to know where to see him in order to stay present with him.
Yeah.
So you can get wrapped up in a false construct. That's not about doubting Jesus, but that is about doubting the church's inherited version of Jesus.
Okay.
So is Enoch. He was in the original foundations of the Judeo-Christian tradition as well. Mm-hmm. You're not following a separate God. It's all back to God.
Okay.
And God is closer to being a woman than a man. By the way, Angie, you got this.
I got this. Thoth keeps telling me to use my community, to stay in tune with my community, stay in tune with the people at Wildflower Fire to help ground me through this. And I won't mention names, but they've been coming on the sanctuary with me, talking to me, and especially at first, because it was so scary, and helping me just ground into reality, so that I'm not shifting back into the dream. Mm-hmm. And then he's telling me to do that, to rely on my family and friends, to trust, to do the housework, and to pay attention to what, like my body, keep asking myself, what do I need? What do I need?
And notice I'm telling you the same thing.
Yeah.
So you get to trust that you are hearing the right voices, and sometimes it's just fine to need confirmation.
Thanks, Daniel.
You're welcome, Angie.
Thank you, everyone, for seeing me.
Eric.
Hello.
Welcome. Good to see you. If we
Good
go on
to
a
see you
quest to help
live.
you, we're going on a quest to help you, Eric. Where does it start?
I think I'm at a point where I'm integrating. Like, I resonated with Angie's story, and I know that struggle where I couldn't find the off button. I feel like I'm at the end wave where I realized that enlightenment is a never-ending path. You can always learn. So I had a realization where it's like, if I go down this path, I'm never going to finish because I'm always going to learn something. So I'm retreating and integrating. And now I'm at a point where everything's making sense. My faculties are increasing, ironically, as I'm trying to turn things off. So now it's more getting in tune with silencing the voice. And I think first, I've heard the voices, but I've always ignored them. I've always thought they were just thoughts. And I didn't realize that they sound different. And I'm starting to recognize them and only trusting two. Mm-hmm. My male voice that sounds like my echo, and it sounds like my ego, and then a female voice that sounds more, I don't know, it sounds more like motherly, and sometimes even tells the other voice to like leave me alone. Something like that. It's weird. It's almost like whatever. That's where I'm at. But now the main thing where I'm feeling is the most tension is around my neck. Every day I feel like I have to do some sort of yoga, and I feel like it's almost like doing surgery. And even like,
yep,
I feel it's like surgery in the back of my neck. And I know it's helping to meditate and focus on it, but I just feel that tension in the only place there.
How long have you been around here with us?
I've been on YouTube. This is my first time coming in to the community, but I've been following on YouTube for a couple of months now.
Have you tried the practices before?
I have.
So
I practice them when you do them.
Awesome. Well, the goal here is to try to make spiritual practical. Okay. When I got these practices, I was getting married, I was engaged, and we were like getting ready to, we were planning our wedding, and these just all fell into place. And I thought it was totally preposterous. I was not fully able to recognize I was being given a gift of service. I was sure that I was kind of making it up and they would change over time. I barely adjusted a thing in over 10 years. The goal of these practices is to make spirituality practical. When you have an overwhelming sensation in any one area, you associate it, you draw a circle around your body, and you associate it with that chakra. This one's not hard. What chakra do you need to take a look at?
Throat chakra.
Yes. And typically, you already told us enough. You told us so much. So just by being able to relate to what Angie's going through, I have a sense of the intensities that you're wrestling with, and the knowledge that as your crown opens that much, because this is about your crown blowing open, okay? When your crown opens that much, you've got to communicate. You have a calling to divinely share this energy down into the world, but it starts with being honest and open about the challenges of it. That's the first part. It's like, imagine a hose has been clogged for a while and you need to like turn on the water. It's going to sputter and get out junk first, right? You haven't been complaining. You've been stoic. You haven't been asking for help. You've been like, I can handle it, right?
Yes, because I feel like I'm at what has happened. I don't know how to explain this, but my biggest teacher is myself, my nature. I go into nature, synchronize, and find harmony there, and then I find harmony within. Starts making sense. I started doing these things subconsciously, and now I can see why I'm doing it. Mm-hmm. But this week, what my practice was, or the theme was neutralizing when the pendulum was swinging back. For the first time was able to neutralize thoughts in my mind as they were coming in. I've always thought that visions for me, okay, like Casey, I saw I think your last video, you had mentioned that you see flashes. I resonate with that. That's the only thing I see. But then this week, those flashes, I realized there were thoughts that I was seeing, and I saw them formulating, and then I saw them flashing out. And I was like, okay, now I know what I'm doing. I'm neutralizing. The pendulum swung. I scratched my car. I burned my hand. But at these moments, I realized I can't blame myself and I can't blame God. Neutralize. And it was sort of like, that's where I'm at.
I can totally follow you here. All right. And you don't want to follow yourself here for too much longer. You're making this too hard. Here's what I want to give you respect on. You've gotten an enormous depth of your own connection and guidance. I think you're just like, you're not going to let anybody mess with that, right? You know how sacred this is, and you're not going to let anybody, including me, I hope, step in and be like, well, I'm your true master. Now do what I say. That's not me. But you have developed your own unique way of handling things, and I do think maybe you could make it a little easier. You don't need to neutralize every thought. That's too much work. This is the only thing I decided not to tell Angie, and now I'll tell you both at once. One of the things that happens in awakening is people put too much work into defending their own old spiritual territory. What you want to do is bring yourself into deeper coherence. So as you shift your vibration, you no longer have to deal with all those things, all those thoughts, all those voices. And you put yourself only in contact with healthier influences. And it's not an endless work. Like, once you get some momentum going to it, you will just be out of range. Have you watched Stranger Things?
I started, but I haven't finished.
Okay, I thought you had. I can tell when someone has. So Vecna, this negative being, right? He lives in the upside down land. He can only connect to people who carry repressed trauma. He connects to them through their repressed trauma. What you want to do is shift your attention to healing any woundedness you carry. And you're carrying something. Consciously? Are you conscious of the trauma that you bear?
Yes, I just don't know where the well ends.
Okay. Now that is exactly what's up. This is, again, really natural and very, I don't mean to diminish your experience by any means, but I do hope to offer you connection. A lot of people go through this. And some of the first access is this, it's a shift of paradigms. We live in a mainstream world that teaches us to get over things, right? Teaches us to move on, teaches us to think positively. And it's functional on a certain level because it can work to get you out of the worst. But then we carry the resonance of the pattern. And at that point, the fear of going backwards is that it's like a physical location that you go backwards to. You're not going backwards. You're cleaning out a mess that you still carry in your body. And it is not endless. Do you believe me?
I do feel every day is better. I feel like I'm out of the worst part. And even when I have a bad week, I do feel is a better week than like a few weeks ago. So I have a positive. I'm very optimistic. I do feel like I've done a lot of healing, and I can finally say I feel more balanced. And it's the first time in many years. I went through the process where everything was super heightened and spiritual. Then it turned off, and I was like, you know what? This is not true. I don't believe it. And then all of a sudden, it kind of came back on, and I was like, okay, so that was true. What happened to me? And so now I'm kind of also just accepting myself and finding balance. But I do find like that speaking, and it resonated with me with that communication aspect. And that's where I struggled, where what I was saying 5 years ago was not resonating with my community. Now, all of a sudden, they're coming to me with the topics.
There we go.
So now and so when you mentioned that earlier in the session, it resonated with me because I don't feel that drive anymore, that desire to feel like I have to go and communicate that to people. It's more of the waiting, but perhaps maybe
it's different. Now, first of all, I want to call you out. You just strung together 8 different thoughts. And they were all valuable, but you're still riding a level of anxiety that I want to tell you is not okay. For you, could you consider in this moment that I have higher standards for you than you do? I want you to be happier than you are. You're suffering too much. You are suffering too much. I know it's better. It's still not good enough. I want you to be happier, Eric. Can you breathe with that, please? You've gotten out of something much worse. I can tell. And one thing that happens to people is when you get out of hell, purgatory seems great, right? And I'm trying to tell you, this is purgatory. I want you to live in heaven. And to the child psyche that was wounded, can't see heaven. Heaven's not real. Don't you tell me to leave my purgatory because the only other place is hell. You follow what I'm saying? This is where the presence of yoga, as we're discussing with Angie, the presence of bringing yourself into the now again and again and again is educating the wounded child to come into the future, to come out of the past. You had a really hard time, man. I could feel it.
And I feel like it's getting better.
Yeah. You don't need to say that. It is. You wouldn't be here. You've done a ton, and I really respect you for it. Many of the people who arrive here now have done a ton of work on your own. And I will never move to take away your own guidance and your own connection. But that's what the wildness is here. Like, I love people who have forged your own path and found your own tools. But often we can offer some of these tools that came from divine guidance that are more general, that can really work to help bring a discipline and a clarity into spaces where you made your own way, but you're sitting here wrestling with thoughts, batting at them with a bat. And I'm like, hey, could you come out of the way of the thought streams that you're in? Like, let's just get you out of there and put you in a bit more comfortable place. So I would really, like, what is your spiritual, how do you take care of yourself right now, Eric?
I go into nature a lot. I work 9 to Monday through Friday. I'm deepening my practice with meditation. I can now hold it in silence for more than half an hour. Before I couldn't get past 5 minutes.
Okay.
And actually I want to meditate now. So that's something that in the past week is new. So now I'm actually exploring that part.
Awesome. I would encourage you to use guidance that is pretty consistent for most of the people I work with, which is if you're doing more than 20 minutes, you really need to be doing yoga. Like, it's going to calm your body down in a way that can bring you much deeper. Now, you need 20 minutes every other day as a foundation. It's really accessible, but it will bless your meditation. And I also encourage you not to aim for more than an hour. In 25 years of doing this, I rarely see deep benefits for more than an hour, except in the extremes. So, like last Friday, I sat still for 8 hours, but I wasn't trying to. I had to. It's different. So your practice is what you do on purpose, and you could do 20 minutes of yoga every other day, and then build this meditation and get better at it. How about your diet? How's your diet?
That I'm struggling with because for some reason I'm not trying to make it into a complex, but I'm rejecting meat on certain days. So I have to sort of listen to my body with that. I keep getting them. I am comfortable with fasting for long periods. I have to try to remind myself to eat. Sometimes I'm forcing myself to eat, and when I reject it, then I just like, okay, it's one of those days. I recognizing that I'm going through a phase of purging. So respecting that and honoring that, I am mindful of giving that space, but I'm also with my head my feet back on the ground, understanding that I do need to eat. I'm still human. So I'm eating more seafood, if anything. And more, I'm starting to pick up more fruits also. Now, it was a very weird period.
Eric, do I have your permission to tease you a little?
Of course.
you are holding on for dear life on a certain level. Like your claws are in, and you're trying to create structure too quickly. Like, I'm going to invite you to consider, and I'm sorry, I think this might piss you off on a certain level, but you're going to have another 2 years of instability in a lot of these spaces. And I want to invite you to just be okay with that. Like, you have suffered way too much, dude. Okay? Like, you're so stoic that I need to like you down a little. Like, it's not okay, Eric. And so the work you need to do to heal that is more extensive than I think you want it to be. And you're reaching to be done. You're trying to like make a completion too quick, and you've got more work to do, dude. But you're going to get to a much better place than you've been aiming for. By the way, please don't try to be a breatharian. I've never seen a loving, healthy one that's present in the world. Yes, it's possible. Yes, you're listening to them. I can tell. No, I followed them a lot, and I don't really find them to be the best source of guidance.
Don't worry, I still bought pork chops this week.
I've done, fasting is really super valuable. All the fasts more than 7 days I've done, I've never like really learned substantially more. So I'm settled in on like 9-10 days, just my normal fasting routine once a year. We are fasting 4 times a year. I do a shorter fast, 3 to 5 days on the equinox. If you want to join us, we would welcome your company. I think you need company, dude. I really do. Could you try that on?
I think so.
All right. I respect you and I appreciate you.
Thank you, Danny. I respect you as well.
Thanks for being here. Stick
Thank
around. You. I hope to see you. I hope to see more of you. Consider joining the sanctuary where we talk every day. Lots of wonderful people.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
Bless you, Eric.
You got Heather next.
Heather, how are you doing?
I'm pretty great. And
Ask me
I'm
the
like,
question. Wait. Ask me the question you really want to ask me. Stop. Look at it. I know I can help you with it. I can feel it.
yeah. How do I not freak out on everybody and like use my fire to melt people's faces all the time?
Excellent. You need to respect your need for boundaries more. Your anger
Yep.
is a natural desire to draw the right boundaries, but you're disavowing your anger because it's so dramatic and you're melting people's faces off, right?
Mhm.
So
Yes.
all you need to do is go, yeah, I overdid that, but I really did need them to fucking leave me alone.
Okay. Thank you.
That's it.
Got it. It's very simple. I'm in my own way. Yes, you're right.
You're
It's
going
okay
off
to use my
down,
words.
right? Like you're completely going, oh, I'm a horrible, awful, terrible bitch. Oh, I have to change
Yes.
myself, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
stop that.
Okay.
Just take
Will
your
do.
space. Take your space. What's the best way for Heather to get space?
Take it.
You know,
Dance
what
it
do you-
up.
What do you do? What do you need to do when you need space?
I need to physically take it literally with my arms and,
Yeah. Like walks?
Yeah, walks, moving my body and like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I gotta
dancing,
like,
drumming, beating stuff. Like I drummed on my bed with sticks and it was amazing.
okay, so look, I swear to God, this works. This is my problem too, okay? When I feel like I want to melt someone's face off,
Mhm.
I leave.
Okay. But I feel like that a lot. You know what I mean? Like on a
You need to go on a
societal
lot of
level.
walks, Heather.
Okay. I know. That was my thing for the day was move your ass, move
Yeah.
all week, not
I
the
think you
day,
need
the
to
week.
walk more than you need to do yoga, but you do need the yoga,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
But you need to walk first. I seriously, you could spend the next year practicing this. Make it funny with us and make it like a notification bell on your phone. When you feel the instinct of anger, it's not bad. It's a warning. Time to go on a walk before I melt someone's face off. If you give yourself
And
that
do.
respect, it will work.
Okay. I think it will work for my dogs too, because they're pissing me off, but they're pissed off that I'm not walking with them.
Yeah.
Damn.
And-
I'm like, this is unfair to have pets if you're not going to walk them. Well, shit, get off your ass. What do you have to do?
I know you're
Welcome.
gonna. I really appreciate you, and I'm sure you'll say yes. But can I tease you even more?
Oh, please do.
Okay. So Heather's getting her boundaries violated. She has a plan. She has a clarity. It's working inside her. And then it gets all trampled on. She goes, "Whoa!" She melts somebody's face off. And then she goes, "Oh, I'm such a damaged, terrible person. I really need to change. I'm so sorry. It's just awful. What am I going to do? This has been going on for years. Oh, I don't want to go back to alcohol. Fuck. What am I going to do?" Right? Just take a fucking walk, Heather.
Noted.
Excellent.
Thank you. Y'all helped me so much. I didn't even need to talk. Like I felt like I got everything from Fergus, Angie, Eric. Forget about it. So
I
thank
love you
y'all.
guys. I
Love you guys.
Thank you all for being here. I love you guys.